artists and music producers do the same thing. So like Drake is huge here, but to go worldwide, Drake had to work with Bad Bunny. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And once you do that, the numbers are insanely bigger because Latin America or Latin speakers are way bigger than just the US market.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Bad Bunny and
J Balvin.
J Balvin smashing it.
Yeah.
Smashing the worldwide charts.
And here half the people might be like, "Who? What?"
Yeah. I think the only Americans who smash worldwide charts are like Beyonce, Justin Bieber.
Like a few select.
Yeah.
Canadian dog.
I don't think anyone in hip hop, like they do impressive numbers.
Also Canadian.
Drake, I think, does the most numbers.
Sean's right. Canadian.
Yeah,
We don't claim him.
Oh yeah. You're right. North America, I feel like it's just grouped into one.
Yeah.
But,
They're just like second rate Americans up there. Bad Bunny is my favorite wrestler. Hilarious.
Because it's like 1 month of Encanto versus what? 7 years of Frozen.
Yeah.
And for all 7 years, every time I walked into a mall or a Target,
every child
for like
Everything.
they were still wearing Elsa costumes for Halloween.
Yeah.
So it was just weird to see all of that just swept over.
The cultural impact of like Frozen felt way more than like I've never even seen the other one. What is it called?
Encanto.
I haven't seen it either.
It's actually good. I liked it.
Huh.
But it makes sense to me how it could, like, I'm with you guys. Like the cultural impact definitely felt bigger with Frozen, at least around here, but it makes sense to me how it would just be blown over by Encanto.
So this is how my mind works. How does 3 a.m. take advantage of that? We got a collab with some Central South Americans.
Bad Bunny.
We got to hit up Bad Bunny, bro.
I know Mr. Beast has his YouTube channel in like all the major languages. And he hires voice actors to, once they record or do a video or any type of content podcast, they distribute it to all the teams, and each team who manages the YouTube, like Mr. Beast Japan, like all the voice actors like dub the episodes, and then they just put it out in all the different languages, and it's like,
and he gets famous people from those markets, which is like,
like for
crazy
Japan,
smart.
like he'll get like I don't know, like the voice of Naruto, and everyone's
Pikachu.
like, oh yeah, like this, Ash
Pikachu
Ketchum,
himself,
Goku, just the titans of anime.
Yeah. A sock you lost said 3am collab with Pitbull, aka Mr. Worldwide.
Bro, I had a dream with Pitbull last night.
What the?
Oh, what happened? I forgot about it until you said
You just
Pitbull.
got cracked by Pitbull, doggy style.
No, dog. If anything, he's the dog.
You spread your cheeks, Mr. Worldwide. You know what I mean?
Bro.
You spoke tongues. Do you turn the music off for this?
Yeah, because this is clippable, dude. I can't think exactly what happened, but he was in my dream. Oh, I'm so sad I can't remember. It wasn't anything special. Besides that, in my dream, I was conscious of like who he was. Wow. And even in my dream, I was still a normal person. And he was still Pitbull, Mr. Worldwide. I was like, oh, what is Pitbull doing here in my dream?
Mr. Pitbull.
Yeah,
nice
Mr. Pitbull.
Mr. Pitbull.
Dale.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
I mean, if Walmart can do it, we can.
That's true.
Yeah, we have the same poll as Walmart.
Yeah,
easy. Yeah. Dope. I say we like jump into the episode.
We have packages.
We have a package. I think it's Charles' turn to open.
Nah, you do it.
You need a knife?
You do it, bro.
No, this
you
one's
do it
one of
eloquently.
the rip opens.
Okay.
Yeah. Dude, okay, so we have a P.O. box. Thank you to everyone who sent us stuff so far in the P.O. box. Some of the best things we've got. This lantern, diffuser, books. And so if you want to send us anything cool that you want to see us open on stream, go below. There's a button, our P.O. box button, and you can send us things. So
there is no note.
Okay, this is scary.
It is from...
Oh, shit. It looks like a... what's the word when you're bad? And you get disciplined or you get a punishment. It looks like a punishment, possibly. Oh, shit. Oh, it is a punishment.
Yo, I'm gonna try this right now, dog.
Packages. We're taking the P.O. box down.
Can you clearly tell them what it is?
This is made with natural ingredients, soft black licorice. Only 4 ingredients: vegan, fat-free, and kosher.
Okay, here's the thing.
It's kosher.
Yeah, dude.
Now I can eat it.
Kosher. We have a listener, I think, who's from Amsterdam, and this might be from her.
Well, I was also going to say,
said they were gonna
we
send
talked about
it
candy,
smells- it
and they're
smells
like,
good.
we told them to send us good candy. Like,
So
we're
they-
like, we talked about licorice, and I said, I haven't had licorice that I've liked. So, what's it smell like?
Dude, it almost smells like
Chemicals?
teriyaki, dude.
Ooh, why is that bad?
Oh, no. Just get a whiffer.
I like it.
Oh,
Sean likes everything, though.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna zip it before I.
Did you
throw
get
it
any?
To you.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
You didn't, dog.
You're on camera. Why would you lie? For the camera, Panda, the real taste of licorice since 1927. Okay. So
You know how, like,
they got a history.
bitter like black licorice typically tastes, or how like strong it is?
Yep.
This is like a mild
smoother?
version, a smoother version of black
Ooh.
licorice.
Every licorice lover knows that Panda Natural is a class. Okay, I don't want to read the rest of that, but it's molasses, wheat flour, licorice extract, and aniseed oil. Okay.
I like it. It's good.
Did y'all hear about? Oh, okay. See, it has like a meaty smell, bro. Like a beef jerky.
It smells like a meal ready to eat. You know, MREs,
MREs,
the military.
You're in the military
rations,
right now?
dude. But there's like a hint of fruit in it too.
like a licorice smell or something.
What is what is molasses?
It's like
It's kind of like a
honey.
yeah, it's like a syrupy
Like a
type
syrup.
of yeah.
Yeah. But what's it from?
The molasse.
You
yeah.
milk the molasses plant.
Just from the molassers.
I want to say it's from a tree, but I could be wrong.
Molasses is a viscous substance resulting from the refining sugar beets into sugar.
Oh,
I don't know. Did y'all hear about Skittles?
yeah, dude, wild.
DJ, you hear about that shit?
No.
Apparently, pound for pound, I had heard this on like Reddit or a YouTube or a TikTok, so I'm going to say it as if it were gospel. Pound for pound, Skittles are like the worst thing you can eat. Like as far as like what it provides nutrients wise to like what it actually does to your body. It's like the worst thing.
Yeah.
Well, recently, it's come to light, even though it's been public knowledge, that it contains a chemical in there for the coloring that is outlawed in like most countries.
Yeah.
Like you cannot get Skittles in Europe because they're like, oh, that shit kills you. It's super bad for you.
Yeah.
Let me look it up.
I can't remember what it's called either. I was like kind of okay with that though, because I don't remember the last time I ate Skittles, and honestly, they're not my favorite either.
I don't think I've ever bought Skittles.
Same.
I just eat it when it's there.
When you have the little like mini packs you get at Halloween.
I don't even really open those up.
I feel like Skittles slap, bro.
I think Skittles are fine. I don't love them. I don't hate them.
Yeah. I'm indifferent.
Yeah.
Okay, so apparently,
Exactly. Most fruit candy, that's how I feel. I think my problem with licorice is like it just tastes so like artificial.
Oh,
but like the weird thing is the Skittles or like licorice are like the most natural flavoring because it's like straight from the plant.
yeah. These are only 4 ingredients, dog.
So so the Skittles are banned in most places and now getting sued by a guy in California apparently because they contain titanium dioxide.
Anything that you're eating that has
scary.
titanium dioxide in it, red flag.
Yeah. Bro, apparently it's used in a ton of shit and it's just super bad for you. It's super chill. Titanium dioxide exposure can make your eyes irritated. It can irritate your nose and throat. Okay, whatever. But it can also cause lung cancer. So
That's it,
Dude,
that's cool.
super chill.
Yeah.
I remember a
Taste the
commercial.
rainbow.
I remember a Skittles commercial with Katy Perry.
Whoa.
And what does she sing?
Fireworks. Lung cancer.
Uh,
I am titanium.
Does
No!
she? She doesn't
Are you
sing
being
I'm
serious right
Is
now?
that her? Is that her?
No,
I am
dude.
titanium.
There's no way.
What is that song? Who is that?
Come on, you gross man. Women are different.
Who sings that song?
I am titanium.
Oh, that's
Damn, they were
Sia.
telling
That's
us,
Sia.
bro.
The song
I was
by David
dude.
Guetta
I was so
and-
close on cracking the case on the Skittles.
I almost thought you were on something.
Okay, but Skittles did have like the most goated commercials.
Dude,
'Cause-
there was one where they fed like a weird singing rabbit Skittles. Do you remember that? Can you pull up like bizarre Skittles commercials?
I just remember the one where he's like doing it and just Skittles everywhere.
He wanks Skittles?
No, he was actually like having sex and somehow there's Skittles involved. I can't remember.
There's a ton
This
of
is a fever dream, maybe. So,
all the Skittles commercials are kind of fever dreams, like Taste the Rainbow.
Real quick, Skittles and their campaign or marketing is like the first time I thought, could you imagine pitching this to an executive? Like, how would you get this made? And I like respect Skittles, not for killing people with titanium dioxide, but for taking a
pushing
chance
the boundaries
on marketing, dude. Put on bizarre Skittles thing and let's just pick a random ass one.
Funny Taste the Rainbow commercials.
Yes, that one.
Okay.
Oh, my left foot is asleep.
More
Right now.
yogurty coated Skittles.
Yogurt boy.
Oh
My gosh.
appropriate for 3 a.m. Skittles yogurt's lit though.
Creamy.
Another.
Pacify the rainbow. Taste the rainbow.
Can you do Skittles commercial singing rabbit?
Singing rabbit.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Give me a sec.
Because that's the first one I remember. I was like 13. I was like, what in tarnation is going on?
And then after that, look up dirty Skittles commercials because I want
This
to.
one. Oh yes.
This is a commercial. They paid for this. And here we are talking about it like 15 years later. Oh, rabies.
Treasure the rainbow.
You know what actually
Taste the
bugs me
rainbow.
is the homie waited to eat those Skittles until like
Yeah.
later that
He's like,
night
he's probably going to be pissed about now.
inside
Start eating
of
the
a
Skittles.
or inside in front of a fire.
Yeah.
That's what you call class, to be honest. It's like had to set the scene, the mood.
Freaking wild. Anyway, Skittles, not good for you.
I was just thinking about like the old is it the Bud Light commercials? The Real Men of Genius. Today we
dude.
salute you, Mr. Something. That was like the days where like Super Bowl commercials were kind of cool. Just because we didn't really know any better. And there wasn't any other way to consume content, you know?
Yeah.
Like those were the first memes. It like
Kind of, yeah.
It preceded-
And they became memeable too.
Yeah. Now everybody know like 2010s like memes are an everyday thing. People source them from different places and they're like not that special. And they're only special if like memes have subgenres now. So you choose what kind of meme you're into, what kind of it aligns with your humor. Whereas back then we didn't have any of that. So
Yeah.
what was available, everyone liked.
I was going to say, I think it was like the sheer amount of people who were on the same thing at the same time.
It just everyone could relate.
Everyone saw Super Bowl commercials.
Yep.
Dude, my all-time favorite one was a Bud Light commercial. Whereas this husband and wife are driving in their car on a rainy day, and they come across this Michael-looking dude with an axe, and he's like trying to hitchhike, and she's like, "Let's not pick him up." He's like, and the husband's like, "Well, he's got Bud Light," and on the other hand, he's holding a Bud Light, and so they pick him up, and then they keep going, and they see like a Freddy-looking dude,
What the
and
And he has Bud Light too.
he has Bud Light too. And the guy in the back is like, but he's got a chainsaw. Dude, it was literally,
Bud
it made
Light.
me laugh so hard every time I saw it. I was like, what the?
Dude, mixing drinking and driving is always the best like way to market your beer.
It's true, dude. And haunted,
So I'll
scary
crack that open,
stories.
pass it up here.
Brittany said, I'm so devastated that Ritz are banned in other countries.
They
Yeah,
are
it's
dude.
wild.
It's
Ritz are the best cracker, dude.
dude.
That and Skyflakes.
Have
if
you
you're
had
a foreigner.
club crackers?
Club crackers
Oh,
are fire,
Keebler?
dude.
Fucking
Keebler?
hit. I think so. Maybe.
I don't know. The green
Like
box,
Keebler
dude.
Elf. Yeah.
I don't
Club?
know. Yeah.
Club is dope, but Ritz is where it's at.
Ritz
dude.
is like original
It's
OG. You
ultimate
can't-
flake and butter flavoring.
So good.
Bro, if the Catholic Church gave that out as like communion, I would be Catholic.
Straight up, dude.
Yeah.
Why don't they just like
Ritz.
get good stuff to give out?
Yeah.
Like,
Your membership will go way up, dog.
Yeah.
What's it called? Do you guys want to have a good episode or a bad one? Because I thought of something that might upset
Make it
someone in
bad.
here. Okay, let's make it bad. Okay, wait.
go for it,
I
dude.
haven't fully thought this out, but the conclusion I came to today was the iPhone to me, the iPhone. Okay, imagine yourself in 2000
2000.
and
Okay.
say, do you remember like watching a video or looking something up on the internet back then?
Okay, you need to talk to DJ on this one because I was
DJ
poor as
you
and didn't have
TV
anything.
out in Arkansas. Do you remember like trying to get like a picture, a song in 2000? Like, do you remember the time
Ask
of
that
like
again.
MP3 players?
Do I remember getting what?
Do you remember like trying to like look up a photo or even watch a video online or like MP3 players when you could have more than 10 songs on a device? Like that time.
A little, yeah.
And just how like crazy it was. And then the iPod comes out and it's like you could have 100 songs in your pocket.
Damn.
How wild that is. Okay, what if I at that time approached you and said, dude, at some point you're going to have this tiny, smooth device in your pocket where you will have the entirety of the world at your fingertips. Movie, content, video games. You can talk to anyone around the world. Like you have a homie in the Philippines, dope. Send a message right now and they'll respond real time. Like streaming. Think of everything. I think we're a little bit desensitized to it of how crazy it is. But if you could go back in 2000 and like see it with that fresh eyes,
Mhm.
that shit would be more impressive than going to space.
Well,
Would it not?
no, it's to
That's
me, it's
true.
all one.
You would
of-
be like, that's black magic. And I don't believe that's a thing. And
It's
it's like, it's right here.
It's
like,
all-
we have it.
it's all one and the same to me. It's all under the umbrella of technology, my guy.
Technology.
Dude, I look at airplanes and I'm still like mesmerized because 100 years ago,
Oh, yeah.
it was like
When you can just smoke and bang on a plane. Is that what you're talking
That's
about?
true, dude.
dude's just like jumping off, hoping it works, you know,
Yeah.
with wings. And now we're like having a literal bus like 10,000 feet off the ground.
It's like, I'll take ginger ale, please.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, you're like flying in the
yeah,
air,
dude.
traveling. No, cars do the same. Sometimes I'm in a car and I have this weird visceral like, this is incredible what's happening. I'm traveling 90 miles an hour over the earth smoothly and it's quiet and I'm listening to a podcast. Like that's future magic shit. But we're just like, we take it for advantage, take it
Granted.
advantage.
Yeah.
Granted, that's the right word.
It's true. It's
Yeah.
true.
I was
Before
walking Lucy
our
this morning
ancestors would only see aliens coming from the sky. Now we come from the sky.
and we land.
Oh,
We land.
it's true,
just get
dude.
shuttled around. Yeah, it's wild.
Bro, speaking of planes, there was some kid in Florida like earlier this week that landed a plane with no training because like the pilot started having a medical emergency.
I blame video games in a positive way. Wait, how
In a
did he do
positive-
it? Yeah, he probably was just like, I've seen this.
So like I don't know how he did it, but someone was filming the plane as it was coming in. And like it didn't look like the smoothest landing.
Yeah.
But it definitely landed
But they
and
didn't
nothing
die.
broke.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit.
Dude, confidence will get you either really far or not far or really fast. But sometimes if you just
One
like,
or the other.
You get humbled up real quick.
yeah, if you just try,
on the other end.
fake it till you make it is insanely powerful.
Wasn't that fake? I don't know. If it was, then I got by the video.
It's funny when we're talking about like tech, it's come up faster than we ever expected, let alone like wanted. Because we're still adjusting to like tech is going faster than we are, you know?
Yeah.
Like AI in itself is thinking and developing faster than an actual human brain. And it's scary. Like we've had to turn it off in some instances. And it's interesting to see how it's affected us socially. And one thing I'm thinking about is like dating, like the trend right now where it's like, she's a 10, but, you know?
Yeah.
It's like when none of these things actually really mattered before. Maybe they did, but like it's going on to like the topic of memes where it's like it's one tiny quirk and then we all jump on it and exploit the hell out of it. But it's kind of funny to see.
Wait, explain it a little more so I understand.
Which part?
Like she's a 10, but, and then technology.
So
It's like she's a 10, but she likes to sit next to you at the restaurant.
But how did that relate to technology? I'm sorry.
I'm just talking about like
change
how
the dating,
like that wouldn't have been a thing without tech. Like it's a big trend on social media, and now it influences our social life, and now we think about those kind of things. So I'm not saying it's good or bad, it just is. So like tech has provided a platform for us to think about certain things in different ways that we wouldn't have because we were disconnected from the world.
You could apply that to like everything.
Because like tech like I think one of the best things about tech is like it's connected everybody. So now it's like, oh, I'm not the only one who thought that. I could only talk to like my close circle of friends and no one else because tech wasn't available. But now that I can talk to literally everybody, I see that everybody also has thought this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I guess like two parts with that. At one point, I feel like tech brought us all together. So like we were all kind of consuming pretty similar things. And this is like early, mid 2000s. But then now it's like communities are being built.
Like to live deliciously.
Yes, I would. Thank you.
Go.
That was terrifying.
Keep going.
So it like brought us together where like memes literally or whatever, like everyone was experiencing the same thing. The joke of the day, you could guess most people were on. And then like a segmentation or like a siloing has happened. And now it's like everyone has huge communities and stuff. And you would never knew. You know what I'm saying? Like there's these Minecraft kids with 8 million people in their community. It's like, I've never heard of one of them.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just interesting. So like tech has given a vehicle for like community building and in a way that legitimately changes culture.
That's true.
Like the macro space allows for like microcosms.
Whoa. Bro, that's a lot of big words for a Sunday afternoon for me, dog.
Even in the nature of starting a Scary Stories podcast, when we did it 3.5 years ago, there was not many people out who were doing scary stories.
Maybe we weren't looking in the right places, but
I don't know. We were looking. We were looking.
We were
like looking for other people who do. There were a ton of true crime.
DJ and I are
true
pretty
crime.
big internet kids, so we were like scouring Reddit, scouring YouTube, and it's like there were some people, but not in the way that it is now. And now it's like I'm on f***ing TikTok, dude, and there's like 8,000 scary story podcasts, and I'm like, gosh damn it, like I don't know. It's interesting.
True.
And I feel like it's weirdly trending or popular right now. It's just like
Scary stories
and conspiracy theories.
Conspiracy theories.
Yeah, like I'm finding more and more like you could, if I said conspiracy theorist, what's the person that come to your mind? 10 years ago, 5 years ago, a pretty specific image would most likely come to your mind. But now it's like, dude, rich white women on TikTok are like way conspiracy theories. You know, like
and the devil laughs.
Not Karens. I'm talking just like normal, good-looking, well-educated people are like, yeah, the government is, f***ing us. And it's like, this is crazy.
Yeah, you're right. It's a trend. It used to be like a tinfoil hat crazy guy.
Exactly.
Like
it's changing. Yeah, it's changing.
neck beard in the basement.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Welcome to the 3AM podcast. My name is DJ.
My name is Charlie.
My name is Sean.
We are best friends. We tell scary stories and funny jokes.
Welcome back.
The archaeology woman,
Yes.
who, if you haven't seen, I feel like most of you have. I covered this last night on stream while I was playing some games.
Oh, did you?
Just a little bit, just prefacing it, and like it's kind of dead end right now as far as like the information that we have. But a woman here in Utah,
I put the videos on Notion if we want to watch.
A woman here in Utah.
So, I'm not allowed to say anything right now, but something really big is about to hit out here in Utah. You'll see it in the news soon. I'll tell you more once I'm allowed to. But stay tuned.
So she posts this video, and her @ is Australophytish, I think. Anyway, and everyone's like, okay, what is it? So the very next day, she comes out with this video.
Hey everyone, there was a huge reaction to my TikTok yesterday where I said that there was a big discovery out in the West Desert of Utah. Here to say it is 100% true, and I just want to give you a little bit more update about that. We should know more on Friday. That's when Hill Air Force Base has suggested that they'll be ready to start talking about this. I will report that here as well with a little bit of context. It's a fresh new discovery, so the archaeologists behind it want to make sure that they really know what they're talking about before they come forward. We don't want to get anything wrong, you know? But this was discovered by an archaeologist named Dr. Darren Duke of Far Western Anthropology.
Researchers, go and research
He is
this.
an incredible researcher, one of the leaders in his field of Ice Age archaeology, and just a really creative, complex thinker to have even considered what he might be seeing in the sands out there. The last important thing to note about this is the timing. Yes, it's human. So it's between 12,700 years old and 9,200 years old. It puts it towards either the end of the last ice age or the very beginning of what we call the Holocene, which is the era that we potentially just currently exited out of. But yeah, stay tuned. I'm really excited. We should be able to tell you about all this rather soon. So it's exciting.
And the handle is AUSTRALOPITHISH, however you say that.
Yeah.
So later that day, both the video from the previous day and that video were taken down, is what happened. And since then, there has been no update from that woman and her account.
I think she might have done something, but that was wiped. And I didn't save that one. I saved these two just on a whim.
No.
But they since have been taken down.
Well, the small update that she gave, where did the mummy come from?
See, that's what I'm saying. I think we missed something because multiple people from Utah started being like, okay, they announced a mummy was found.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know where that announcement came from. I didn't see it. So what I'm thinking is maybe they announced something and they took it down, or people just assumed from what she said in her second video that it was a mummy.
That's concerning because everyone's been saying mummy.
Yep.
It's Emotep.
But
Okay. Yeah.
where's that? Yeah, I'm just like, no. Where's the source?
Well, here's the facts. Something was discovered in the West Desert.
Mm-hmm.
They were going to announce it. It's on the air base, the Hale Air Base.
It's run by Hill Air Force Base, which is up north.
They said they were going to release it,
Uh-huh.
and then everything gets wiped.
Yeah.
So people are throwing around the word mummy. If anyone listening or watching has links to where they announced if it was a mummy or not, please let us know. I've talked to someone who knows that area decently well.
Mm-hmm.
He spends most of his time on Salt Lake City, or Salt Lake, the actual Salt Lake.
Yeah.
And he said, man, if there's anything out there, and if it is similar to like the Salt Lake conditions,
Yeah.
unless it's like stone or something, like nothing would survive the erosion.
Of salt. I thought it was interesting when I like tried to look up stuff. Is this Darren Duke guy, the guy she's talking about? Like the last thing I could find on him was in 2016, where he discovered artifacts in West Desert, where it was like stones that were used for like spears and stuff like that.
Okay.
And on carbon dating backed it to like 9,000 years ago. But any mummy that was discovered was reported by New York Times from 1996 that was 9,000 years old.
What?
And
Utah?
that came up in like, if I'm doing hot button topics like Dr. Darren Duke or mummy, like that was the article that came up
From 1996.
1996
In this area of Utah?
in this area of Utah. Well, I typed Utah. I didn't type in this area or West Desert, Utah, but like, it's weird to me that all of those things kind of like came together in the searches I was doing,
Uh-huh.
but like nothing really saying that anything had been found as of yet.
Okay. Why is this an issue? Why is it big? People are making it really big. Some people are saying this is nothing. One narrative is that if this is a real discovery, it changes the current narrative that scientists and academia is currently going on as far as like humans existing in North America.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the term mummy is interesting because if you say mummy, people think Egypt.
Yeah.
So
Or
some people are
Peru.
saying like, holy shit, the Egyptian culture was in Utah 9,000 years ago. It's like, other tribes had mummification processes. Even like natural mummification can take place. So like it could be that. So we don't know that.
Well, and there's actually pretty big like culture of mummification in Peru as well.
Yep.
So here in the Americas, that's already prevalent.
Mhm.
But like, it's weird to me that the whole narrative was that this changes everything when there's articles in New York Times from 1996.
It's like, bitch, shouldn't everything be changed then?
Everything should have already been changed. Like,
what's crazy is this area used to be under sea, especially back then.
Oh yeah, there was a
Bonneville.
giant, the Sultan. No,
isn't it the Bonneville Lake?
shoreline?
Bonneville, yeah,
Bonneville Lake or whatever. Like
Was
this whole
massive,
area was
yeah.
underwater. So if this mummy is from that area, that time, and in that location, it technically should have been underwater. Like, right?
yes.
If we're not wrong. So I don't know.
Ice Age period of time. I think maybe even before the Ice Age is when the lake was here, and that's when things froze up and then started to recede.
Interesting. I think what makes this so salacious, or why, because like I just posted these to our story, and we got a ton of people interacting with it.
Oh yeah,
And then I've seen it blown up on TikTok in Utah. But I think it's so salacious because she wiped her videos.
yeah. And the only guy, if you look it up right now, the only guy you can see a video from is the guy you posted from.
Tattoo boy.
Yeah, like no one else on TikTok is reporting it.
I saw
No,
one other person, but
I didn't see. I couldn't find any.
yeah.
And then no articles are posted. It's literally just those
Okay, why are people so hungry for something big to be happening?
because it's Utah. Nothing happens in Utah.
I guess. It's
I don't know. Not really. I was just thinking about like the monolith.
Oh, that's true.
how that captured like the mind of everyone.
Yeah. Like in southern Utah, remember the big
Uh-huh.
metal
Art
structure?
installation.
Yeah. Or
No, the people who did it like revealed themselves.
did they?
Yeah,
I didn't hear anything about that.
we covered that on here.
I think it was like way past like the time though.
Yeah, we like talked about it. It's like a group of people. They were like, "Yeah, this is how we did it. We've done it in multiple places. We've documented it all."
And where's the document?
Like it's,
Or was
you can,
the
I think you
video
can
or-
watch it on YouTube and stuff. It's like a group of dudes. They're like, "We've done this in Europe. We've done this in Germany. We did it in like this is how we hiked it in. We set it up."
Mm.
They have like a time lapse of them doing it.
I obviously don't remember any of that
I think it
because
was
that
when we were in
wasn't as big
Kevin's.
as the actual story.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. That's almost what I'm saying is like people are so quick, and I do this too, where it's like assume the craziest because it's
Yeah.
way more fun than like
Yeah.
some art kids like just went out there with a drill and put up this mirror, this 3-sided mirror.
Aliens.
Yeah. So I talked to someone and they were like, if it's aliens, that would be crazy. I don't
That would
think it's
be
aliens.
crazy.
Some this also ties into the theory of like early documents and people records of people coming to the Americas, early explorers, and then going back and reporting. Apparently, there is someone who said when they went to the Grand Canyon that they saw themselves sphinx heads and pharaoh heads carved in the side of the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
And that theory is blowing up right now. And people are taking everything and trying to like apply that to it. So the water being low in all the lakes, they're like, it's because they're trying to hide the pharaohs in the Grand Canyon. And now this happens and they're like, a mummy in Utah? I told you, like the pharaohs are in the Grand Canyon.
Matches the conspiracy theory right now.
So that's going on right now. If anyone has any like resources or links or anything, let us know.
We got a couple people in chat saying really all they can find is the same thing. The guy we posted on 3 a.m. Nothing else really. In the middle.
Thank you.
Thanks for the follow.
in
Let's
the
go.
middle. In the middle podcast. What up?
Let's go.
Yeah. Anyway, interesting. If anything comes up, we'll for sure cover it here. I love archaeological. Someone help me out.
Archaeological.
No, figure it out.
Discoveries. They're so fun, and I love when things change the current narrative. There's people like Randall Carlson and Graham Hancock, who are some of the biggest names in archaeology and like geology, who are disruptive because the theories that they're posing kind of go against the current belief.
Yeah.
So like a lot of people believe the Grand Canyon was made over a millennia with water slowly eroding through. And that's called like, I can't remember what the term is, like incremental something, where they think mountains were just made like that, like slow changes over time.
Yeah.
And what he put forward is like, I think insanely big events took place really fast and changed the landscape quickly in some places, like colossal floods or earthquakes, and created some of these things. And anyway, it's a big hullabaloo, but it's a fun rabbit hole to go down.
And it's like, can't dismiss it either.
But it is.
It's
Like,
dismissed.
yeah, a lot of people are like, no, this is, what do they call it? I don't know. They call it like false. There's a certain term for it. I can't remember right now. But a lot of people dismiss it. And the reason why is because like your ego, if you're a professor, if you're a leading expert in Egyptology, and then someone comes along and says like, actually what you've been teaching your entire life and your entire identity is tied to is wrong, there might be something inside of you that would like be a little defensive.
Yeah.
Like if someone questions how cool space is, you know?
Because it is cool. Because it is cool.
This is why I'm trying not to be a leading professor in anything.
But like, there is some of that happening. And what is unfortunate is like, that's the antithesis of science.
Yeah.
You should be like open to ideas. And if something proves you wrong, you should be the first one to champion that.
True.
Instead of being a bitch, you know what I'm saying? Egypt, get with it.
Yeah. Rise up. I fully support the armchair expert over leading.
No, there's wonky shit, dog. Like all this stuff in Egypt is like controlled by like an appointed people in Egypt, and they control like what gets put out, and people are like, yo, this is wrong. And they're like, nah, out of here. It's crazy. Look into it, guys.
I don't know if I have the brain capacity.
It's fun, man. Go down the rabbit hole. Anyway.
What else is going on in the world?
All I had was the mummy shit today.
Worth and not worth talking about.
Bro, I say we get into stories. It's Sunday.
Yeah.
And I hear we have a Sunday school lesson to get to. Dope, says Pack Attack. All right, guys, this is a Scary Stories podcast. We tell scary stories. To determine in what order we tell our stories, we roll a 20-sided die. Highest number goes first. Now there are punishments and rewards for rolling a 1, critical failure, or a 20.
I know that today's the day.
Hit.
I know that today's the day.
Or there's a special one if we all roll 6s.
A 6.
Okay.
I know this is the day that somebody gets a 20 or 1.
I can't wait till one of you has to eat the ghost pepper because it sucks assholes. 3, 2, 1. Don't lie, Sean. You got a 20?
I got a 20, boy. Where's those smelling salts?
Oh, yeah.
You got an 18.
Nice.
I got a 2.
That's close.
Real close.
That's super close, dude.
So is the 20
I
Sean
called
and
it.
I do smelling salts?
I called it.
Yeah,
No,
what is the 20
I think
again?
I do the smelling
That's
salts.
that way he is just hyped for his story.
Yeah.
Yikes. Okay, so you go first?
Yeah.
Okay, I have to activate these smelling salts. So
Oh,
give me
a
a
little
second.
bit of water real
Maybe
quick.
turn on music. Oh, chat's already on screen. Guys, give me a second. Let me activate this shit. And DJ is about to experience smelling salts.
Temple asked, what exactly do smelling salts do?
Look it up, baby.
It's a stimulant.
It like opens up your pathways. It like burns and shit.
Yeah.
Bottled insanity.
This thing is strong.
They use it to like wake people who are knocked out. If you want
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah. Okay, here's the game plan. I'm gonna smell it, and I'm just gonna get into my story straight away. That work? No one's here. I'm not talking to anybody. But yeah, it works. Everyone left me. Everyone's gone.
I'm nervous for you.
I think I'll be okay. Okay. If you roll a 20 on this podcast, for now, the rule is you take a whiff of these smelling salts. What does it say?
It's called like bottled insanity.
Bottled Insanity XL. Ammonia inhalant.
They use this shit to wake up people who've been knocked out or who want to lift heavy ass weights.
Why did we say this was the 20?
Bro, I don't know.
This is courtesy of Brittany.
This is so that you just get hella hyped for
No,
your story.
someone said it's like catnip for humans. No, cats enjoy catnip. This is like mace for your nose.
I see people hitting this before they try to like hit their PR.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
squatting.
Yeah.
A car.
Okay.
Let's go, baby boy. Hit that shit.
I'm just trying to gather my actual story so I can just jump into it, you know?
Dude, the longer you wait on the cliff, the harder it is to jump. You know?
That's true.
No,
dude.
I'm not gonna not do it.
I don't know. You're
I
just
just want,
sweating.
I'm just trying to figure out what it is
Beads
that
of sweat over
I
there.
want to say at first.
Exactly, Tembo. Why is it a reward? It really isn't.
It's not.
We're in this, boys.
He just unscrewed it.
In 1908, there was a book published called The Kybalion. And the Kybalion,
Can you start over? Just kidding.
the Kybalion is made from what's called the Emerald Tablets. And the Emerald Tablets were...
Oh, I can kind of smell it.
The Emerald Tablets were written by... Were written by an Egyptian god named Thoth. Thoth. The Greeks called him Hermes. Okay. Have you heard of him before?
Dude, lit clothing.
No. Yeah, that's the origin. You got it right.
Is it wearing off?
Yeah.
Okay, what was that like?
Well, you could see it.
You should do it again.
You watched the whole thing.
You should have to do it your entire story.
Just keep taking a hit.
Oh, dude, that was strong. It was big, strong. Oof. It was heavy, dude. It instantly burned my nose.
Did you wake up
in a way that I've never experienced before? I'm gonna continue. My eyes are watering, dude.
Someone said, "Do it again." Bench press, Sean.
Dude, have you heard of this book before? The Kybalion.
Sir?
Negative.
No.
None? Kybalion, okay. This book is crazy. It's only like a modern day publication of the actual like interpretation of the Emerald Tablets. And this Egyptian god Thoth is supposedly like Abraham, the biblical prophet in the Old Testament, Abraham's mentor. Taught Abraham everything. So, Thoth writes on these tablets. Let me bring up the picture real quick. They're kind of beautiful.
The tablets are?
Yep.
Were they discovered in West Desert of Utah?
Yes, that was discovered.
Yeah. Let's go.
No, Thoth. Okay, so let's start with Thoth first. He's depicted in like Egyptian, not hieroglyphics, but like all the stonework, whatever that's called, as having the body of a man, but the head of an ibis, which is the bird with like the long beak, the blue one.
The crazy straw nose?
Yep, exactly. So that's who Thoth is depicted as, and I have a pic here real quick. And then the Emerald Tablets, this is it.
Oh, okay, those look dope.
Yep. So the Emerald Tablets contain the 7 principles or pillars of which the universe stands on. And they're the truths of which we fully operate. And it's like basically the foundation of the universe. So Thoth, knowing this as a god, as a deity, comes to Earth and writes on the tablets, trying to teach man what these truths are. And it's said in the Kybalion is like a shadow, basically, representation of the Emerald Tablets. The Kybalion begins with saying, "The principles of truth are 7. He who knows these understandingly possess the magic key before whose touch all the doors of the temple fly open." So the temples in biblical times were places where people could basically commune with God and learn truths about God. This is one of the ways in which those truths are told, basically, is through the Emerald Tablets. And now we have the Kybalion. So the Kybalion is used by, it's really popular amongst occultists. Ghostmain has a song named Kybalion.
I was wondering. It sounds like some John D shit.
And it's known as the Manual of Mental Alchemy.
Ooh, okay, that's cool.
And
I've heard that album.
The Manual
That's a 1990s hip hop right there.
And I want to read this book. I want to read it and then dive into it later. So I'm kind of prefacing a future episode, hopefully. But here are the 7 principles. I'm leaving them kind of vague for now because I don't want to speak on anything I don't know too much about. But just listing them off, the first principle is mind. Second is space, time, and correspondence. And in the second verse, or second principle,
Fire ass verse.
is where the phrase "as above, so below" comes from.
Oh.
Paris.
Yep, Paris, the movie. The third one, and wait, as above, so below. Do you have any interpretation on that?
Like the same principles that govern heaven are the same principles that govern earth. It's
Yeah.
like how it works up there is how it works down here.
Yeah, there's another principle later on here. What did we get?
I don't know, but if you're just listening, we have sound alerts on, and sometimes they scare the shit out of us.
That's a separate track, so we can take those out.
If you're a podcast listener and you want to have a good time live, come over to twitch.tv/the3M pod and hang out with us live, where you can get the shit scared out of you too by alerts.
Okay. Yeah, there's a later principle that addresses this a little further.
Some people also say that's like hollow earth theory.
Ooh, as above, so below.
I've actually heard it as well as below, so above.
Yep. They talk about switching it up as well. Okay. Number 3 is vibration. Everything has a vibration.
String theory.
Number 4 is polarity. So everything has an opposite.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with it.
Number 5
I might be an occultist.
is rhythm and pattern. Everything follows patterns. Number 6 is cause and effect. So everything is a reaction of something previous. Number 7, very interesting. And the final one, gender. Very interesting. So I won't dive too much in those topics. Like I said, I don't want to speak. I haven't read the book, so I want to read it first.
We're just sampling right now.
Yeah. But this just like led me on a thought process of things that I've learned before while learning about this new thing of how where do we come from almost? And it's like these archaeological finds, these historical texts have repeatedly shown that there are like higher beings in existence and they speak to us or they have spoken to us. It made me think of so if you're not Mormon, in we've talked a lot about our missions that we've served. In these missions, there's missionaries. Not all of them are boys. Some of them are girls. They're sister missionaries. Some of them are older, and we call those senior missionaries.
They're usually all elders.
Yeah. These senior missionaries, they were kind of just like our grandparents on the mission. At least my senior missionaries, dude. If you had a senior missionary in your area, dude, they were feeding you all the time, just taking care of you, and it was the best. There was one senior missionary, though, who was just like an absolute, he called himself a Bible pothead, where he was just like deep into like the scriptures. And I don't know, I never got a weird feeling from him.
That's dope.
It was a different time of my life, but at the same time, I still feel pretty confident that like he was a sound person.
He was high on the gospel.
Whoa.
Despite calling himself a Bible pothead.
I tried to do the bong sound. Couldn't.
And
real quick, can I introduce, if you're a non-member, this is a new, and that's what Mormons call people who aren't Mormon, non-members. Sorry. But the idea of deep doctrine, I think, is kind of important to like help them understand. So like in any religion, there's like, here's the main tenets of whatever, your gospel, your religion, your group. And then there's like the weird, murky, dark, deep stuff that's way more fun that inevitably missionaries like find themselves like attracted to because it's way more fun than pray and read your scriptures. Cause it's like, okay, that's kind of boring.
Yeah.
So on the mission, a lot of missionaries will go down like really deep doctrinal rabbit holes because we're big fat nerds on the mission who have nothing better to do.
Yeah.
And so when you meet someone, an older person who has some of this knowledge, it's like,
You're
why
a sage.
sage?
Yeah.
Let's get high
Bestow upon
together.
me. Yeah. Pass me the blunt of deep doctrine. Yeah. So you came across.
Let's go
one
visit
such
the
elder?
burning bush together. You know. So this senior missionary, and he's still around, and I wanna give him a call, and just like ask him a bunch of questions, because it's been almost a decade since I've last talked to him, and by that point, that was like their fourth mission that they were serving as a senior couple.
Damn.
Like before that, they were like in Mongolia, they were in Argentina, and then it was the Philippines. So well-traveled, they well experienced. They were just good people and took really good care of those around them, whether they were members or not. But for us blessed and privileged members, he would bestow upon us his knowledge, and he talked about a lot of this. He talked about specific archangels, and you read in the scriptures about archangels. There's the angel Gabriel who revealed himself into Mary, telling her that she was going to be the mother of Jesus Christ, the Son of God.
Man, this really is a Sunday stream.
It really is. Gabriel, he talks about all these different archangels. There's Archangel Michael. There's a large handful of them, and he talks about who they were in human form. And is that common knowledge?
I wouldn't say it's that common.
Not that common.
I don't think the lay Christian is like, oh yeah, but I don't know.
Because, and I'm kind of shooting from the hip with my story today. What really happened is I was hanging out with some friends Friday night, and I was like, they were asking me about the podcast. They're like, tell us some stories. Told them some stories. I was like, do you guys have any? And they have a recent one that had to do with offshoot Mormons who made their own cult, and one was born into it.
Like one of your homies there?
No, this is like their neighbor / like best friend, or one of their best friends. They were telling me this story, and they were born into it, not knowing. There was a lot of details. Sorry. But anyway, I wanted to share that today. And right before stream, he was like, actually, let me ask my friend first, see if he can share it. And I was like, oh. So I had to this was, the Kybalion was in my potential story notes for a while. So I did a quick dive into that, but it got me thinking about these other things. As far as because the Kybalion came from the Emerald Tablets, that Emerald Tablets came from an Egyptian god. And the Greeks saw him as kind of a god, but also like a philosopher. And it's where the term hermits come from. Huh. Because the Greeks called him Hermes.
Mm.
Have y'all
heard of hermit as a career in Europe?
A career hermit?
This is a mad side note.
Like in medieval times, they went to hermits for hermits were alchemists.
At one point, rich nobility would hire men to come live on their estate or their house. They would live in a small stone cottage and live on your estate to make your estate more mystique. Oh yeah, we have a hermit who lives down in our garden. And so it would just be a weird bearded man who read books all day.
Bro,
and you just
sign me up.
That's what I'm saying. When I heard
we
that,
got
I was
a weird bearded
shit.
man here.
Yeah. Sean is the 3 a.m. hermit.
Bro, that just made us so much more notorietable.
It did. We owe you a lot more money, dog. I'm so sorry. But that's such a weird side note. But I saw that used to be a legit career. You would hire a hermit to live upon your land and make it cooler.
Why? Because they wanted the image of they were what in the know.
It's just a Merlin lives here. It's wow, yeah. That's it was stunting.
Yeah,
it was their Lamborghini or their jet.
We have a hermit.
Yeah. We hath a hermit who doth live upon the land. Wow. Anyway, sorry. So they saw him as a philosopher.
Insane. Yeah, they saw him as a philosopher, and that's all I'll say on that. But it's got me thinking to my conversations with this senior missionary, who we'll call Elder Stroud. His last name is Stroud. Elder Stroud, who owns his own farm in northern Arizona. But what he was teaching us about archangels and them, if you take the example of Gabriel coming to archangels are archangels or are angels who have a higher purpose and calling and help humans accomplish big tasks. So you watch when Charles was talking about missionaries getting to this deep doctrine, it's basically just old school History Channel. you know, the meme of like aliens. That's like every Mormon elder, you know, on the mission with deep doctrine. And even History Channel talks about like, do the aliens taught them how to build pyramids? And it's like, I feel like the more I read into this, whether that's bad or good, I don't know. But the more I read into this, I feel like the aliens or angels, it was like the same thing. We just call them different
Whatever
things.
you want to call them.
You know?
It's sort of similar. Like recently I've been on this thing where it's like, you can say magic, like that's a magic spell, or you can say prayer. It's like the same exact thing. You're speaking something into existence using like intention and mind and heart. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like everything is like the same, just called something different.
With the belief that something out of your power will then bestow you with power to do something.
Yeah. So it's just like whatever you call it. Yeah. You want to call it aliens, you want to call it angels, whatever. Visitors from above came down from a different realm. It's like whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. It is an interesting way to look at it that way. And it's like, it's all just kind of homogenous.
Yeah.
So going on with what Elder Stroud was teaching us, I told you that he was teaching us. Well, there's two things that I remember that he did teach us, and this is very deep memory. A very deep memory. So some of the details are kind of skewed, But he talked about the Archangel Michael, and in the Mormon Church, I think we believe that Michael is also Adam, right? As in Adam and Eve. I don't know if that's like a normal Christian belief or like Orthodox Christian Catholic belief.
I have no
Either
idea.
or. But Michael apparently taught Moses how the universe was made, showed him like the entire creation. And I remember sitting there, I was like, this is crazy. But he took out the book of like one of the discourses from Joseph Smith, who's the quote unquote founder of modern day Mormonism. And
why are you saying it like that?
I don't know. Took out like one of his discourses where he was taught about this. And I don't know why. I'm right now in that time I was like, okay, I believe this now. But I don't know about now. I can't speak to that now. But basically Michael, who was Adam, took Moses not in a vision like they talk about in the scriptures, but like took him into space.
Lame.
And showed him like an actual, yeah, super lame. He's like, oh, I'd rather go.
Can you just give me an iPhone?
Moses was like, can you just take me to Japan and eat sushi?
Yeah,
instead?
I just want that. I want that nigiri, bro.
Yeah, I was watching Jiro Dreams of Sushi on Netflix, and that looks way better.
That looks way cooler.
Yeah. Takes him to space.
If you're gonna take me to space and show me the beginning of mankind, I'm down.
Takes him to space and shows him the making of like a galaxy or like a nebula or whatever.
Literally from the beginning to end. He saw everything.
And everything was like sped up and like stopped. And it's like, this is how this happens, yada, yada. Takes that, brings that down to earth, that knowledge. And now we have the pyramids. No, I don't know. But just like, that was just like another example of like aliens or angels.
An archangel.
Extraterrestrials.
Interfacing.
Another one is about like in the Bible, there's the 12 tribes of Israel, and everybody comes from these 12 tribes is what they teach. Long story short, 10 of the 12 tribes are lost. Right?
Where they at though?
We don't know.
Hollow Earth.
Except Charles knows. What do you know?
I'll tell you later off screen. Just
so
crazy stuff.
There's a verse that says that they traveled into the land northward.
Ooh.
What?
Just what kind of northward?
What kind of northward? And Elder Stroud talked to us about how northward meant like up into the sky.
Oh shit.
Into the sky?
That they were taken into basically heaven. And he went on this entire diatribe, which I vividly remember sitting there. Obviously, all the words that he spoke, I don't remember, but I remember feeling like, damn, I think this is like actually real. Like, this is insane to me that like these 10 tribes were taken up into the sky. And I'm just gonna say he talks about how
Hey, this is
they
a safe place, dog.
they live on their own planet, and on this planet itself travels to other planets,
Nibiru.
helping other
planets in their progression back to God.
Exactly. So just like flying through this rock in space, and they were once human and they became
As gods.
Whoa. Extraterrestrials helping other humans.
Okay.
But
I'm chomping to jump in.
Yeah, go, dude.
Hard.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to cover two things. One, Sean just said it, Nibiru and the Anunnaki. So we've talked about it before. I even brought up Graham Hancock. He's someone who's like a great source on understanding the story of the Anunnaki and Nibiru. But essentially, the story of mankind, according to this legend, is that Earth was visited a long time ago by beings from above or from space, known as the Anunnaki. They came, they bestowed upon us knowledge, and they left. Some people go really deep into it and think this is when mankind jumped from ape to what we are now. And what happened was the Anunnaki came to this Earth and they were like, holy shit, this Earth is really rich in materials.
Resources. Yeah.
Specifically gold. Gold has crazy properties, like crazy electrical properties. And like, anyway, it's insanely valuable material. And so
not just in like a barter sense, but literal like
you can
physical
stretch
properties.
it super thin. You can coat things with it. You can shield rays. It's crazy. There's so much stuff.
And like the audio visual world, if you work in it like I do, but like our XLR cords are gold plated because they pick up the most.
Got it like that.
Rich, dog.
Because they pick up the gold plated is like the best you can get.
Conductor.
Because they're the best conductor.
Yep.
So like you get the best quality audio with gold plated XLR 1/4 inch cables.
So the legend goes with the Anunnaki is they saw a planet super rich in gold inhabited by these pretty decently self-sufficient, hardworking, strong, ape-like creatures. So they said, dope, let's upgrade this ape, make it way more capable of working through brains, and we'll install in it a desire for gold. And humans, since the beginning of time, every civilization has always wanted to like collect more gold.
It's true. I want gold.
Me too. I want gold. I want a grill so bad. Anyway, the theory is that they literally like implanted that desire into us so that we would harvest gold so that when they returned, they'd be like, dope, give me that shit.
Just take all the gold.
But the theory is the Anunnaki came insanely gifted knowledge of building. That's how the pyramids were built. And they traveled on the planet X or Nibiru, which up until, I don't know, the 90s or something, everyone was like, that's cap. But then they did identify a planet X and they were like, actually, that planet X would kind of come close to the Earth every like 9,000 years or something like that, which is kind of lined up to what they said. So there's like all this weird
9,000-year-old
stuff.
mummy.
Bro, if you watch Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, the Nibiru's in there. If you watch so much stuff, there's like Planet X and Nibiru, the 11th planet. It's all baked in there, dog. And so now we're talking about the shit they discovered out in West Desert. That's a mummy. That's Nibiru. That's Egypt, all over the world. And then DJ brings this up. Also, last night, I had a barbecue with my wife's cousins. All her family was over. And we got to chitting. We got to chatting. And what came up is deep doctrine stories we heard on our missions, dude. And I'm dead ass. Like, you're talking this whole time. I was like, this is so crazy. So last night, I told everyone, the whole group, when I was on my mission, if you met one of these like gospel scholars, it was really fun to meet them. And you only had like a small window with a lot of them, right? It's like you live in their area, you get to eat dinner with them once or twice, and it's like, you don't get it. So I met one guy, he grew up Mormon in Australia, and he was just a consumer of everything the church has ever put out. He had every book in his library. He had like a room full of books, and he knew everything. He was deep, deep doctor boy. So I was like, we had a good rapport. We had a good dinner. And like, as a missionary, you're not really supposed to ask about this stuff. You're supposed to stay pretty singularly locked onto the main gospel. But I felt like, I had cracked through the ice a little bit with him. So I was like, hey, brother so-and-so, what's the craziest thing you've ever come across? And I'm dead ass. Like, I've been doing this shit that's not just a marketing thing for the podcast. Been doing this shit forever. And he like leans back and he goes, you know, I have read, and DJ, the last thing you left off on, angels that travel from planet to planet to help people in their progression. He goes, I have come across these journals, and I think I've shared this on the podcast before, but I'm going to refresh everyone's memory. I have come across these journals of early members of the church. At one point, the members were being ridiculed, persecuted in over here, East Coast. So they're like, F y'all, we're out. We're going to go west. They traveled west. So at some point, a war broke out in Mexico. Yeah. So a lot of the men had to leave, go to this war. Before they went back, the gold rush happened. Mm-hmm. And all of them were like, let's recoup some of our losses, make that bread. So they went up to the gold rush. He said he has seen and read journals from that time of members in those mountains. And there was one account that was corroborated by multiple journals. And this is what he said happened. There was someone who was panning for gold, Northern California. At some point, there was a loud noise and a craft came over the trees. This craft landed in the water in the stream near him, and a tube extended from the craft into the water. He's terrified, drops his pan, like sits there stunned, staring at this craft. The door opens, and he sees two celestial, bright, perfect, shining beings almost floating out of the craft. And he says, the instant he sees them, he's not scared. A feeling comes over him that he says is a familiar feeling that he's never felt before. It feels like he's home for the first time in his entire life. And the beings see him and they say like, my brother, I'm sorry. We did not know you were here. Otherwise we would not have disturbed you. And he's sitting there flabbergasted. He's not scared because of the feeling they're emanating. They're pulsing peace. Mm-hmm. And he basically at some point just starts like, who are you? And he goes, my brother, we are beings from another planet. And he says like, he super nerd shit. He goes like, do you guys have the gospel of Jesus Christ on your planet? And what the beings say is, yes, we do. We are from another planet who is further along in the process or the simulation that your planet is from, that your planet is currently in. And he's like, we didn't know you were here. Our bad. We're sorry. We'll be leaving you. Like, and this won't affect you at all. And then before they leave, they say, do you want to come with us? Yeah, and he looks down, the feeling he gets, and he's like, shit, dude, I do want to come with you, but I have a family and I have to stay.
F them, dude.
And they go, that's okay. We'll never see you again. You take care. They fly away. And one of his homies who was in the mountains that day, he never saw again. And so he thinks that fool like went with them. Yeah. And so I was sitting there, I asked the old man that, and that's what he told me. And I was like, dude. So like, it's kind of similar and kind of corroborated by what you said is like these beings that are like celestial demigods who travel from planet to planet, helping people along the process.
Okay. Can we just like right now put in pact that if that happens to us three, one of us is going with them?
That's you, dog. I got a dog. You know,
you got a dog. I mean, yeah. Okay. I have the least to go for right now. So actually,
you're part of the master race. So
but you have
they probably ask you to go.
Yeah. I'd know how to get back.
They were like, DJ, can you move aside and let Sean come up?
Yeah. Yeah. Can you do all the grunt work here on Earth?
Do you have our gold?
Yeah. Mine the gold, DJ.
Yeah. But you have to get back to us if that happens. You have to like send us a message.
Oh, for sure, dude.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'd be pissed if you, dude. What kind of asshole would just like tease something and then not follow through on it? You know?
Yeah, that's true. I am an asshole though, so you never know.
The funny thing is, you also have a wife.
You said
Tembo in chat said that. You said I have a dog.
Guys. Let's not nitpick here, okay? Let's get one thing straight. Move on.
It's all right. She don't listen to us anyway.
Yeah, no. We're free. We can say what we want. Spooks are out too much.
I won't speak for everybody, but at least me, I like hesitated to like bring up this topic for 140 episodes because we didn't ever want to come across as like preachy or anything, but I think we can approach this objectively. And I really do feel like it's not even an attempt. Like looking into this, it feels homogenous, like I was talking about. This isn't like like some of the stories might come from Mormonism or a specific sects of Christianity or any religion, but
it's really just same thing, different terms.
They're all stems that go into like a central root system almost.
That's why Ancient Aliens works, is because like this theme exists in like every culture, every religion. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's true. It's true.
Yeah. Also, first and foremost, this is our podcast, so we can talk about what we want. If you don't like it, you can eat ass, baby. Someone actually recently, like, we don't bring up the fact that we're Mormon. And here's the thing. Us specifically in this room and our friend group outside of this room, dude, we're all on different stages as far as like how Mormon are you and like things like that. So it's like, I think we're pretty comfortable in discussing things like that and not like a preachy sort of way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We actually recently got a message from someone. They were like, yo, I love your podcast. Been listening to you a long time. And it's like, I didn't really understand that you guys were Mormon until I brought it up to one of my coworkers. And they were like, Mormons? They're the ones with magic underwear. And so they like sent me screenshots of garments. And they were like, can you please explain this?
Because that was the first time for her hearing that.
Yeah, she was like, what the f*** is that? And it was like 6:30 a.m. I woke up to that message and I was like, cool. This is like my first thing I get to address.
First thing I'm doing today.
Yeah.
Is Charles back in the mission again?
Dude.
Waking up at 6:30, preaching the gospel.
Yeah. Dude, accurate, bro. Mark that number down, report it to my president. Essentially, I was just like, I won't say like exactly what I said, but I was like, first and foremost, I don't think I'm the best representation of Mormons.
Oh, definitely.
So if you're drawing all your conclusions from Mormons from me, like, just know I'm not the mold. Do you know what I'm saying? Well, I just want to say that. Like,
just get that out first.
Also, it's like, I'm not afraid of any topic. So if anyone does have answers, you can come at me. And it's like, if you're trying to be an asshole, we'll both know you're trying to be an asshole. But if you're just like genuinely curious, I think we could have a non-threatening conversation about anything. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's what these segments are. Because there's a lot of things within Mormon mythology, I'll say, or doctrine that are like super interesting.
Exactly, to that end. And even in the chat, Pack Attack was talking about how like Mormons have like, he said Mormons got some fire fringe folklore.
It's true, bro.
It's true.
That shit is true.
Even if we just approach it as like a story,
like come look
and
from an
nothing
outsider.
further.
Yeah.
No one's trying to convert your ass. Chill.
Yeah.
It could be really fun.
So
also, not only Mormons have fire fringe.
You could say that for every religion, then probably.
Yeah, true. Like me, I would love to learn those things.
Exactly.
Like if you have fire fringe Hindu shit, it's like, bring that on. I want to know that.
When I was diving into like jinn,
oh yeah,
and like reading the actual Quran for that episode, I was like hella enjoying all of that. It was dope.
Because it's interesting. It's culture. It's like these are wild things that people base their life off. It's like it's interesting. There was one last thing. Fringe, fire,
folklore.
Bring it to. I must not have meant to bring it up.
It's okay.
They wiped it from my mind. Don't bring it up.
But to tie this up,
it will never be tied up. Just kidding.
The Kybalian. I want to read it.
Ancient
so I can ascend.
Ooh.
Dude, then just return and report.
Next time DJ's just like floating.
Yeah. Sweet. Last time you ground dwellers heard me talking about this.
I'm like, what? Anyway, that was fun. I appreciate that. There's a lot of stuff we could explore. Any thoughts?
No, that's me.
Thank you, DJ.
Yes.
Who's next? Me.
And thank you, Smelling Salts.
Yeah, thank you, Brittany.
Yeah, that was perfect for introing this story.
I feel
the
rejuvenated.
Spirit of God.
Yeah, I've been touched by the Spirit.
Dude, yeah. That is the Anunnaki in a bottle right there. Dope. I'm next. Guys, my story tonight comes to us from some goated sources. First and foremost being David Paulides.
Ooh, let's go.
Why do we all know that name? Why do we act that way? Because David Paulides is the godfather of Missing 411. For the uninitiated, hurry up and educate yourself. Missing 411.
Get initiated.
People all around the country, all around the world, disappearing under mysterious circumstances. And only cases that do not have a good explanation get put into this. There's a specific criteria by which they become Missing 411 cases.
Yeah.
Great preface.
Some of those criteria are they go missing near body of water. A lot of the people who go missing are knowledgeable outdoorsmen. Outdoors people rather. Anyway, there's some sort of mystery. It's not just a clear-cut case. Dogs can't trace them. Something's weird.
Yeah.
So these cases, first and foremost, we've covered a lot of them in the past. Go through our past episodes and look at them. Here's some that I don't remember us covering that I thought were fun, so I'm going to bring up today. What spurred me to look back into this was a Wendigoon video that got posted. We've shouted them out before. Great YouTube channel. Go check them out. And another YouTube channel called Moonlit Ghost, where he does something similar, covers weird fringe things on YouTube. So go check those out. And of course, Reddit, Wikipedia, other sources. Okay. Some of the, what initially introduced us to Missing 411 is the infamous Reddit SAR Search and Rescue Officer thread. I've posted part 1 and 2 to our Patreon for free. Anyone can look it up, whether you're a patriot or not, but you should go look it up right now. SAR Reddit Scary Stories. 8 pages of insane good
crazy stuff.
And a lot of folklore is born from it. Stairs in the forest. So go check that out in your free time. One of the craziest ones that like always stuck with me, and it encapsulates like what I love in a scary story really well, but it's the story of a grandfather, his daughter, and her daughter walking in the forest. Daughter's around 10 years old, and she decides, I want to climb a tree. I love climbing trees. She's like, I'm going to climb a tree. They're like, dope, be safe, be careful. She starts climbing the tree. They see her going up. She goes through the branches until finally they can't see her. She's pretty high. After a while, grandfather, mom, ready to go, yell up, call up to her and say, hey, like come down. We're ready to go. Nothing. And she's never seen again. What I love about the story, simple, bizarre, odd, terrifying.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit. We've all climbed a tree. We know what that would be like if someone just climbed it and never came down. And this is kind of like a perfect way to push this is what a missing 411 is.
Yeah.
Something happens, there's no explanation. Second one, similar to the first. This one is of Eric Lewis. What I would imagine a decently experienced outdoorsman. Why? Because they were ice climbing near Mount Rainier.
Oh, okay.
So Sean, what's Mount Rainier like? Where is it at?
Mount Rainier is just southeast of Seattle, Washington.
Okay.
And it's in kind of like the Cascade Range of mountains. It's just super green and lush and
am I right in
beautiful.
thinking like dense forests, like tall trees?
So right and around the area is really the only place in the world where it's a temperate rainforest. Whoa. So it's a rainforested area, but in a temperate climate. So it's super wild.
Dude, Britannica over here. Encyclopedia Britannica Gasaway over here. I love it. You've been there before?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, this guy and 2 friends decide they're going to go ice climbing, so I assume it's winter. He rappels down on the side of a mountain on some ice. Mm-hmm. They can hear him moving. They can hear him climbing. He goes further. They're up, securing everything, just watching. And after a while, it's quiet. And they yell down, Eric! Nothing. They jingle the line, and to their horror, they realize the line is loose. They quickly pull it up. And at the end of the line is supposed to be Eric. But nothing's there. An empty carabiner is at the end of the line.
No, dude.
So they imagine, holy shit, somehow he unhooked himself and has fallen.
Yeah, because it's not even like a broken line. It's like the carabiners. Holy shit.
Yes. And as you know, as a climber, dude, every time you start climbing, you check every connection. You count it off. You both confirm.
You lock
then you go.
You lock into one before you unlock another.
There you go. So perplexed, terrified, they look for him. His body is never found. Even where he would have fallen. It's not there. But what they do find halfway down the mountain in a small ice cave is his backpack and some of his gear.
What the?
But nothing else. But there we go again. Someone who goes somewhere where there's no real escape. Like you cannot just all of a sudden like disappear from this spot unless you're like carried away by a eagle or something. And then he just disappears.
Wild.
Could you say the the homie from your mission when we're on my story who disappeared with the UFO is like a missing 411.
Oh shit, that's true.
Help
dude.
me remember him.
The one where the gold rush people, one dude just
They
disappears.
came out and they're like,
Dude, that's the OG missing 411. Yeah, dude.
Aliens.
Yeah. Next person, Garrett Bardsley. And you might have covered this one because this one takes place in the Uintas of Utah.
Oh shit.
This is at Kybalion Lake.
Kybalion Lake.
I don't know. Either way, at this lake is a very well-kept, very manicured spot for people to easily come in, park their car, camp, paved paths down to the lake.
Okay.
Like, this is not deep back country. It's a scout trip. So his father, Garrett's father, and Garrett come, drive, set up camp, and they walk 200 feet from their tent down to the lake to fish. While fishing, Garrett slips and falls into the water. Gets wet. Dang it. Dad, I'm going to go change. No worries. And he says, just make sure you stick on the path and I'll see you in a bit. And his dad made it a point to watch Garrett walk. And literally, so if you have 200 feet between the tent and the lake, at maybe 150 feet, it goes like, it bends a tiny bit and you can no longer
Goes
see.
over a little like lip.
Exactly. So he watches Garrett until that lip and he goes down and then he starts fishing. 20 minutes later, he thinks, dude, where the hell's Garrett? He should be back. Goes up to the camp. Garrett's nowhere to be found. Search ensues. They search everywhere. They cannot find Garrett. Only thing they find is one sock.
Oh, damn.
Several, maybe 100 yards, I don't know how far away, in a gravel pit in these big gravel boulders. And weirdly enough, gravel boulders are like a rock field, super common in missing 411. A lot of people,
yeah.
A lot of people go missing there or something is found there. Anyway, they find one sock not far from a pretty popular road sitting there, and nothing else is ever found ever again. So somehow in between those 50 feet,
Just gone.
this one's really similar to the one in the Missing 411 documentary, or is that the same one?
it could very well be the same one.
Because that was the one with the grandparents as well. And
Then it's probably different, but there's
Okay.
so many similar cases.
Yeah, there's
And
hundreds and hundreds of these.
And I cherry picked 3 dealing with kids. So these last 3. This next one, Rowan Grifton, he was 2 years old. Him and his family visit grandma's house. I believe this is in New York or somewhere on the East Coast. They're visiting grandma's house. And he is 2. He's playing with a cat outside. Parents are talking, I assume. Something's going on. Maybe there's a distraction. The cat runs into the forest.
Mm-hmm.
They're near a pretty wilderness. They're near a wilderness area. And young Rowan chases the cat into the forest. At some point, the parents realize he's gone. Holy shit, we need to find him. They form a search party and they start searching. They search well into the night until finally they're like, dude, we're not making any progress. We can't see anything. And at this point, it's dangerous for us to be out here. Let's call it off. Let's start first thing light in the morning. Which could you imagine doing? Like your 2-year-old is missing and you're like, you have to make the call like, let's start again in the morning. You're essentially like the likelihood that your kid is alive goes down.
after 48 hours or something,
Yeah.
24.
It's like, yeah, very small window. Light comes, main group starts going out, and a smaller splinter group from the search party goes, you know what? Let's go the opposite way
Just in case.
out of a hunch. There's a swamp down there. Let's go check that swamp out. They go to the swamp area and they go, Rowan. And they hear, I'm here.
What?
Rowan is sitting there in front of them, clutching a tree in the middle of a swamp
What?
with deep all around him. And he's completely dry.
What the?
So he's like in the middle of a pond, clutching a tree, completely dry, and he can't swim. Relieved, they bring him back. They ask him, they talk to him. And like every time they try to ask him, how did you get there? Like, what happened? What happened? What happened? No memory. The only thing he says is the cows The cows scared me. The cows led me to that tree.
No.
Which is like, okay. No. Except there's no cows in that area at all.
Bro, that's not Rowan.
Changeling.
The cows.
He just kept saying the cows, and they're like, that's cool. There's no cows out here, my guy. So what are you saying?
What did you see?
Yeah. You stupid idiot.
Like, we should have left you out there. What's crazy is that kid's still around, and I think he's on social media, so it's weird. What's interesting is, do you remember that theory I told you about demonic or even real people using ridiculous tactics to like
make it just so
illegitimize?
Yeah.
So monster.
The cows, like maybe a shapeshifter or something appeared as cow. That's where my mind went.
That's true. That's frick, dude.
So at least that one ended in he was returned, which is nice.
That's so crazy.
This last
you should ask him what sound does the cow make, and he's like woof woof.
On move my lago.
Yeah,
like, bro, that's not a cow.
That's not a cow, dog.
Okay, this last one, young Keith Parker. Young Keith Parker. Young Keith Parker was 2 years old, and this is in Ritter, Oregon, in the Blue Mountains.
Parkins.
Parker.
It might be Parkins.
Sorry.
Dude, now
it says Keith Parkins here.
Then let's go Keith Parkins.
Just in case people want to look it up or something.
Yeah. Can you show the photo real quick? Young Keith Parkins. This took place in the 50s in Ritter, Oregon. It's a super rural spot.
Like a hippie nowadays, dude. Just like...
Dude, he looks like a hipster nowadays.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. More hipster.
Okay. Ritter, Oregon, super rural, out in the Blue Mountains.
Okay.
Do you know that area, Sean?
I know the area. It's not like super familiar with.
I've driven through it several times, the Blue Mountains. It's like you would have to be an experienced person to hold your own out there.
Yeah.
Okay. So similarly to the last story, they're visiting grandma. This is 1952. Edna and Alan Parkins visit grandma with their 3 kids. Their grandma has a small plot of land. There's the main home. There's a barn, and it's surrounded by forest. Mm. So they get to grandma's house. They start hanging out. Mom starts making lunch. She's inside, and the 3 boys are in the barn. At around 12 p.m., Mom, Edna, comes out and says, like, boys, maybe rings the triangle. It's lunchtime. And she sees 2 of her sons come out of the barn and start running towards the house. Mm-hmm. They get to the door. She sits there for a while waiting for Keith. Young Keith, 2 years old. He doesn't come. Boys, where's Keith? Oh, he went out the backside. He went around the long way, the barn. Like they came out the front. He went out the back. Okay. So she waits a minute more. Then she decides to go look for herself. Goes to the barn, empty. Goes out the back, empty. Goes all the way around the barn, no sign of Keith. Within the hour, she's nervous. She's told husband, she's told grandma, they've told local people, they've called friends, they've called coworkers, and a party of 200 gets together. Almost every man in Ritter get together to form a party. And even though they weren't classically trained, they knew what they were doing. They got within yelling distance of each other. They got in a straight line, and they moved forward into the forest. They walked 10 feet, called the name, waited. Walked 10 feet, called the name, and the search is on.
Damn.
They search for hours and hours. And slowly hope is lost. People's morale are down until finally someone in the party, I see something. Calls people over. They look down and they see small footprints in the mud 4 miles away from the cabin.
What the?
Holy shit. How did he get out here? They get together and they start following the footprints and even like a mile or 2 more into the forest. And we're traveling up into the mountains.
Damn.
This is no joke terrain. Ravines, cliffs, brush, trees. They follow these, and at one point, they stop. They have no idea where they went. So if the barn is here, the footprints are 4 miles this way, up and to the right.
Okay.
Disheartened, but not defeated, the party keeps pressing on. Through the night, they search through sub-freezing temperatures. It gets below 32.
Damn.
And yet they search and search until finally the sun comes up, and around 6:45, someone in the party sees something in the distance lying face down on the hard, cold floor. Terrified, he calls out, and crazily enough, Keith's dad is like right by him. I see a boy. They see a body. Keith's dad runs up to find 2-year-old Keith face down, frozen on the ground. He reaches down, scoops him up, and looks at him, face covered in scratches, skin blue, and stiff as a board. But hope's not lost, and he sprints back to the house. Somehow they get him to the Pendleton Hospital, where he's revived.
Damn.
He survived. He comes to in the hospital, and the first thing he says is, "Can I have some water?"
Get this man some water. Get this kid some water.
Show the picture, dude. This so right here, this is Ritter, Oregon. Like, this is the terrain we're talking about, a 2-year-old. And then the next one, I took this from Moonlit's YouTube, so shout out Moonlit. So you can see right there his footprints up and to the right, and that's where he was eventually found, way up to the left.
Shit, dude, that's wild.
So in the hospital, they revive him. Family, it's a miracle. And they ask him, what happened? What happened? No memory. No recollection. How'd you get the scratches? All he says is a cat. He has scratches all down his face, all over his arms. It's like, a cat scratched me.
Okay.
And
Chill.
That's literally the only thing they can get from him. To the day he died, couldn't remember. This story is so crazy, so wild, so wide known. And people were like, he traveled 9 miles as the crow flies. But in order to walk that, it's like 13 miles.
Damn.
So from between the time of 12 p.m. and 6:45 a.m., he hiked
Traveled that distance.
13 miles up into mountains. Crazy.
That's
as a
wild.
2-year-old.
Yeah.
And had time to freeze.
Yeah.
And had time to freeze.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lay down
You
and
know?
freeze.
So you have to assume he did it in less time because he had
You
to
have
have
to
been laying
assume
there for a
he-
while.
Wasn't on his own.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Sean, I should have asked you this before, but how many miles do you think you could hike? And you're easily the fastest hiker in this room.
In that terrain, I probably could do between 2 and 3 miles an hour in that terrain because it's not as thick of a rainforest that I'm cutting through. But also on that map, it looks like he follows a ridge line probably, which would make it a little easier if you could. But he's also 2. So
I feel very confident in saying that he didn't do it alone.
I would say the same.
That, like, him doing it alone, I feel like is more so out of the question.
Okay, so many people thought the same, including Les Stroud. Do you want to pull up that picture of that man? So Les Stroud is from Survivor Man. Survivor Man is a show where Les Stroud is dropped off in the middle of nowhere with given very little tools, and he has to survive and get to an extraction point. So this is literally man's job.
Yeah.
He went to grandma's cabin, grandma's barn, and he attempted to do this in the same amount of time and travel the same distance.
Yeah.
Could not do it.
Wild.
And it's literally his job.
That's nuts.
So what happened? What are your theories? Anything come to mind for you two?
This is in the 50s?
In the 50s.
Are there mountain lions there?
I think.
Yeah, there would be.
Yeah.
In the
Mountain
Blue
lions
Mountains.
just carrying him around? Well, I don't know if they'd actually do that, like what their behavior is like.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm kind of starting to think of this story I heard where this gold miner sees an alien and show up and tell him, ask if he wanted to come with them. That's the only thing I can think of, dude.
Wild. Possibly. So theories have been out there. He was kidnapped. Okay, this is one that's kind of crazy. He was kidnapped. And when they realized they wouldn't get away or something, they dropped him and just pretended to be with the search party.
I was also thinking there could be multiple people involved. Because if you think about, like, counter tracking methods, you could have had one go one way while the other went the other way. And maybe the guy who had the kid was like, I'm going to get caught and joined the crew.
This isn't worth it.
Where
Drop
the
it.
other guy was the one who placed the footprints going the other way.
Like, yeah, send him off. That's a good theory. Another theory, DJ, spot on. People were saying like, well, if he was hanging out near a barn, you could assume there might be livestock, which like could have been
Hunting ground.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe a mountain lion just grabbed him and just traversed this area, which is
Could
still
be.
like, even if that's true,
Yeah.
that's wild.
Yeah.
That's
like,
crazy.
How were his clothes, you know?
His clothes were torn. He did have ripped clothes.
Okay,
Sorry, I forgot to mention that.
What, 13 miles of something carrying you by just the t-shirt,
Yeah.
you know? Like,
If he was being carried to, though, where were the footprints coming from?
Yeah, and they never mentioned like finding any residue or clue
or
on the
any
mountain
other
lion.
tracks.
Yeah. Let me just make sure I got everything.
I have another theory, but continue.
I don't have much more other than the last theory is like something supernatural or Bigfoot.
That's the only thing that explains it. So, Bigfoot.
It's for sure Bigfoot. Confirmed. Let's close the case.
Case closed.
DJ, what did you have one last one?
Yeah. Portals.
Oh. It could be, dude.
Okay. My thing with portals and forests, I've heard this is the theory. If we're all in a simulation, there is a computer that's computing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And forests would take up, there's such big areas of land with such little life in it, as far as like human life, that it would take a lot of computer power to keep that running up to optimum at all times. So what can happen is the simulation that runs the forest sometimes just like runs like low grade shit in the forest. So glitches happen in the forest.
Yes.
So people blink out of existence, reappear somewhere else. And it's like, that's because the forest is just like, it needs a patch, dude. Which is a weird theory, but I don't know.
It's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Forests, I feel like in more like primitive, medieval, ancient cultures have always like been shrouded like in mystery.
Dude,
trees
even
having-
American too.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
trees having spirits.
Uh-huh. I was actually, while researching today, there's so many sirens and spirits of like the Rocky Mountains that, according to Native Americans, would swallow men, like lure men into the forest and swallow them up whole, never to be found again. Like that was a common folklore amongst like Native Americans in the Rocky Mountains and all those areas.
Damn.
Yeah.
Just getting swallowed.
Boy, stop. Not just kidding.
Bro, if any of us is likely to get blipped out of a forest, that's going to be me. I'm just not going to show up for recording one day.
Yeah. We're like old men. You come back same age and shit. Same clothes. Anyway, that's a couple missing 411 stories I wanted to bring up. I thought were cool that I don't remember us telling on this podcast. So Thank you, David. Thank you, Wendigoon. Thank you, Wikipedia. Thank you, Moonlit Stories or something.
Shout out.
Yeah. That's me tonight.
What's up, chat?
We got anything? Any theories?
Somebody said underground tunnel system within the trees.
Potentially. I mean, yeah, there's so much.
It's possible, yeah.
Big Bird took her, says Cyber Juiced. Was the sock crusty? Pack attack? Gross. Just kidding.
In the middle
Shit.
podcast said, just found y'all today. Love your show. Thanks for finding us.
Let's
Thank you.
go.
Middle.
At the beginning, he said, when we were talking about MJ,
Do your wives listen?
yeah, he's like, do any podcast wives listen?
No, otherwise, then the podcast can't be good. Because then you'd be like, oh shit,
I can't say what I wanted to.
let's move to Shawnee Boy.
All right, guys. I'm going to finish this off on this Sunday school episode that we're doing. Recently, somebody sent us some books
To our
Yeah.
P.O. box, Sean?
to our P.O. box.
And you've been using it.
I've been using it. This is already just
Good.
well used.
I believe this was sent to us from the Nuclear Abbey.
I think so.
Yeah.
Straight out of Nashville.
Whoa.
So I have a story tonight from a listener. And from that story,
Corroborated.
I looked up some information within the Encyclopedia of Mystical and Paranormal Experience.
Guys, we're doing it.
Now, I don't
Research.
know if our listener is in chat. I told her that I was going to tell her story tonight. If you want to dox yourself, you can tell. that you're in chat. Otherwise, I'll let you be. Anyways, what do you guys know about mirrors?
No way, dude. I will show you my notes. On the way to recording, I switched my notes or my story from mirrors are portals to missing 411. I'm dead ass, dude.
What the synchronicities, dude. We're in a simulation.
What I know about mirrors is Samoans cover mirrors at night because they believe that's how ghosts and shit and spirits get into our world and stuff like that.
Okay.
I know hippie chicks who all cover mirrors because they say mirrors are portals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything else?
Anything else?
I know that they changed it from a phone to mirrors in the latest Matrix.
Oh, shit.
As portals.
True, dude. That means something.
Tell us the meaning.
So
If you break a mirror, 14 years bad luck.
Dude, hella bad luck. I looked up mirrors within this encyclopedia of the mystical. I want to give you a little bit of background on mirrors first. Obviously, as has already been stated, bad luck. Also, it is highly discouraged to have a mirror in your bedroom, and more so across from your bed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are a couple of
Even in
different
feng shui, it's super specific in feng shui of where you place your mirrors in your bed.
I have a
Or
full
bedroom.
length in my bedroom, and I was very particular with where I put it. There's only like 2 spaces where
you couldn't like see the bed from the mirror.
Yeah.
But yeah, in feng shui, it's like an energy thing. Like it can bounce the bad energy off of the mirror back towards your bed, stuff like that. I'm going to read you a couple of the things I found here in the book.
Hell yeah.
First of all, in the West, magic mirrors were particularly popular from the Middle Ages to the 19th century. They were used by all classes of society, but especially by magicians, witches, sorcerers, and cunning men and women. Mirrors are commonly used for divination in the East. In Russian folklore, mirrors are associated with evil, and they're the invention of the devil.
That's just because what they're seeing in them.
They see themselves.
Yeah.
This one I thought was kind of crazy as well. The Zulus believe dark pools of water harbor beasts that will drag them away from their reflections.
Spiritual crocodiles.
Dude.
Black mirror.
There's another place in the world where seeing your reflection indicates that you will soon die.
Does that have anything to do with like Native Americans not wanting their picture taken kind of too as well? It's like a part of your essence is captured.
It could be. It could be. Also, the look of the evil eye will shatter a mirror or poison its surface. So there's a lot that can be covered by mirrors. Portals, energy, predictions of death. Now, to get into my story.
This story comes, they're in chat, by the way.
Sick. Let's go.
Shout out S.
Starro. Yeah.
So my story comes from her, and I hope I do this justice because this sounds like it was a terrifying experience. So getting into her story, she lives, I'm assuming, in Philadelphia at this point in time. She lived on her own with her dog while her boyfriend was away working, something like that. One night, her dog started going wild, barking at the door. And then she said they could hear someone trying to get into the door by like the sound of a key trying to be put in the lock. And she said it was weird because she was on the top floor of this apartment building, I'm assuming. And there were 3 other security doors you would have to get in and get past in order to get to her door. She looked out the little peephole and there was no one there. However, it was the next night when things really start to get wild. She fell asleep that night across from the mirror in her bedroom. She said she started to have this dream. And in the middle, she started lucid dreaming because she realized she was in a dream. She was sitting on the floor across from this mirror in her bedroom, staring at herself. And then as she was watching herself, her eyes went black. and her face started melting. And she started screaming at herself, "Get out." And she tried to wake herself up, but she felt like there was something in the room with her. And at this point, it seemed like she was astral projecting because she could see her body now in bed, and she was trying to get into her body but couldn't. Like something had taken over it. And she said throughout this whole point from when she started hearing herself scream, "Get out," she repeatedly kept screaming, "Get out, get out." And then she woke up. But she was now in sleep paralysis and could not move. She said there was this feeling or this voice inside her that kept saying she needed to call her super Christian friend to pray for her.
Now you want God.
Yeah. But hey, that couldn't hurt, right? Couldn't hurt. But she tries to reach for her phone and can't. Whatever is in control of her body is not letting go easily. Now, this part is what kind of creeps me out. She felt like at this point she was a puppet on strings. And she felt her arms being dragged from one side of the bed to the other, and then her body being sat up on the edge of the bed, facing the mirror. She's now in this seated position, and she's watching herself in the mirror, just kind of twitching, trying to break out of this sleep paralysis. And then her feet are lifted up, and she's pulled off of the bed. Still unable to move, trying to break free of this sleep paralysis. She looks over and she sees her dog, Winston. And her dog is now on guard, jumped up and looking at her. And at this point, once again, she tries, but this time she tries to pray instead of thinking to get to her phone. She just says she's trying to pray to any force or Jesus, guardian, Allah, angel, Buddhism, Taoism, just straight out of the mummy, just
make a deal with God.
Oh yeah, when Benny's like, shalala, halala. And he's like, the language of the slaves.
Just any guardian angel that would help.
Yeah, that's when he put on the Kate Bush.
Dude, yeah, this is straight up.
That's what I was singing. It's straight up Vecna, dude. It's time for your suffering.
And as she started to pray, she started to see some sort of blue aura filling the room. And as it filtered down and I'm assuming landed on her, she was able to regain control of her body. At that point, she tried to...
Does that just mean that the orcs are near?
At this point, she tries to go after her dog, who had then run whining off into the other room.
Oh, damn.
And
Winston, you dickhead.
Yeah. He was on guard at first and then was like, nah, I'm GTFOing. I'm out of here. And she has a video of that. There were security cams in her house, not in her room at this time. She says they're now in her room.
Did she send the video?
But she has the video of her leaving to go into the entryway where there is a camera. And she realized that her dog had been scared shitless and had shit all over the floor.
Literally shitless.
She first dealt with all this bullshit with Vecna, and then the dog shit.
And then it's bitch shit.
And she sent me a picture of the dog Winston and also of this blip of video of her going into the entryway of the house and realizing Winston shat all over the floor and just be like, nah, I'm out.
Yeah, for real. That can wait.
Yeah. And if you want to pull up the video here, this is essentially the end of her story. She survived, luckily, but just the mixture of all of the strange things going on, from mirrors to sleep paralysis, potential astral projection, it's all just incredibly scary.
Oh, terrifying.
Yeah.
We make jokes right now, but I would pull a Winston and
just GTFO.
Shit the bed. I'd pull an Amber Heard and
it's just
blame the dog.
It's just the coping, honestly.
So this is the entryway camera.
It's right after she's broken out of the terrifying
this trance,
experience.
trying to go and find out where Winston is at, and she's basically walked out of her room into this entranceway, and
Yeah, I can't right now, she says, because she just fought the devil and now has to clean up poop.
yeah. I mean, honestly, we'd probably all be thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I would be like, no, we're good.
Nope. I'm also probably not going back into the bedroom. I don't know if she did from that angle here, but I'm not going back into the bedroom with a mirror right now.
Hell no.
And I'm not breaking the mirror either because I
Don't touch it.
That's bad luck.
Just cover it.
For real.
Just cover it.
Bro, literally, Sean, I all day have been like mirrors or portals, and I was thinking about sharing a mirror thing because of this TikTok, and I'll just play it into the mic. Give me 1 second, y'all. It's worth it, I promise.
No, that's. Oh, she has a picture of her dog.
Yep, that's Winston right there.
Yeah.
Honestly, looks like a good boy.
Okay, a pass. It's
Yeah.
a pass for me.
But also, like
I get it. You're cute.
if I was Winston, I'd been like, nah, I'm out.
Smart boy.
And I thought it was interesting too when I was doing a lot of the research on mirrors. Is she actually brings up that she heard people mention that it's bad luck or not? You're not supposed to have mirrors in your bedroom. I think she said Mexican culture, but I literally found all over the world.
Yeah.
Where mirrors are not supposed to be in your room or facing your bed, and you cover them in the event of a funeral or whatever it is. So that's super interesting.
I'm pretty a big fan of like you can speak things into existence or you at least give it a better chance.
Mm-hmm.
So I was hesitant to ever bring this up and I didn't at the time. But while you were telling Jay's journal, very quickly after that, I was rearranging furniture in my house and I put a mirror behind my door. And I woke up, and you know how I see things in my sleep?
Uh-huh.
I woke up to a white face like right behind my door.
That dude.
And I remember staring at it for way too long, waiting for it to disappear. Finally, it disappears. And then the next morning, I was like, there's a mirror there. And I immediately moved it to the closet.
Yeah, dude.
Because like,
Get that out of there.
okay, so let me play this real quick. Because this is what led me down. I looked up things on mirrors and portals.
Yeah.
Before I came. And this is so shout out. This is the Savannah Hundergerberger. The Savannah Underground. Okay, hold
Is and this is going to freak everyone out. Every mirror on the face of the earth is haunted. Every one, every single one. The biggest, strongest spirit near a mirror will grab hold of it and keep all other spirits at bay. It will fight for this glance into our world. A portal's the same way. The biggest meanest is going to stand at the guard because it wants the energy of the portal. It wants the energy of the area that the portal came from. If you remove that one, the next biggest thing or a bigger thing with no fight might be on its way. And if it's closed, it's closed. That's great. However, how closed, how secure, how tight, and it comes back to that wonderful phrase, I don't know. We just don't know. And we don't understand it. Sure.
And for all the
The crazy part is that he's using the music from the Sorcerer's Stone.
Oh,
Is that really?
And in the Sorcerer's Stone, that's
The
how
mirror.
he defeats.
The mirror
That's how he defeats Professor Quirrell.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Damn, bro.
That was also the most terrifying part of my childhood is when he unwraps his turban.
Dude.
It's on the back of his head.
Real quick, there is a way you can close your mirror.
How's that?
I don't know. I was going to look it up, but then I switched to Missing 411.
Damn. Okay.
I had an article. Yeah, maybe we'll cover that first thing next time. But the next thing on the playlist was like, this is how you close your mirrors
Interesting.
and protect yourself. So
Interesting.
there is a way.
We'll have to find out.
Yeah.
Maybe
But-
those are built into like smart mirrors nowadays. You just literally turn it
Yeah.
on and off. Yeah.
It's like when I
Or
asked for,
clap.
can I track you? You just say like, no,
No.
close.
Yeah.
Only when opening an app.
Yeah. Open portal.
Anyways, Sarah, I hope that we did your story justice. Shout out. Thank you for the submission.
Yes, Sarah.
Appreciate
And
you.
Munoz said, I hope Winston gets extra pets for what he went through.
What, shitting on the floor? Not kidding. I'm just kidding.
To be fair, we all would have done the same thing.
Honestly. People have been talking about how mirrors in front of mirrors is not good.
That's like a portal within a portal, dude.
That seems
And
like
then
a play on Like using a play against them, fire against fire.
That's true.
Yeah, like look back at yourself, bitch.
Yeah.
Demon.
Get them caught in an endless loop, It's like a
Yeah, I feel
Scooby-Doo
like that's how you
hallway.
trap something.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo hallway.
Yeah.
True. Or did you ever see that movie Constantine?
Yes.
That movie's dope.
Yes, they use
like
a mirror to
trap the demons and then shatter it so that it can't get out.
Wow.
Maybe
It's like
that's
a
what you
Horcrux
gotta
and
do.
shit.
Very interesting.
Cool.
That's it for me tonight.
Thank you, Sarah.
Super fun. Guys, tonight was super fun. We went to Egypt. We learned from Thule. No, what was that fool's name? Thalassamy?
Thoth.
Thothy. We got all thothy with our boy. We went missing with David, and then we freaking battled a demon with Sarah and Samir's.
Yeah.
Gang.
Fun times. Chat, thanks for being here. Boys, should we wrap it up?
Yes.
Yeah. Guys, listeners, viewers, if you have stories, please send them in to our IG or our website, the3ampodcast.com. Follow us on social media at the 3ampod. Come hang out with us on stream. It's fun.
Yeah.
Twitch.tv/the3ampod.
Interact with us.
Yeah. Our Discord's fun. People are sending in stories. And let's get to the bottom of some mysteries. I want to be way more community driven, and let's it would be so fun to solve something as a community.
That would be sick.
So that's our goal. Appreciate you guys. Until next time, bye, love you, be safe.
Trust your gut, watch your back.
Be careful out there.
Goodbye.
Hey, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of 3 a.m. If you want to support us, visit our Patreon, where patrons have access to exclusive content. If you're not able to support us monetarily, don't worry. This episode is on us. You can still rate and review us on whatever platform you listen to us on. It really does go a long way. You can also follow us on social media. Our handle everywhere, including Patreon, is the 3 a.m. pod. Finally, do you have any scary stories? If so, submit them to our website, the3ampodcast.com. We love any audio or visual aids that can help bring your stories to life. So file uploads are welcome with your written submissions. We're anxious and excited to hear from you.